Hello, my name is Sam, and I'm sure there's people on this group that know me, but I just felt like the Lord was like, I want you to make this video to share with people, maybe to encourage, I don't know. Now, I found out about Zion Oil and Gas about 4.5 years ago, but the story starts like 11 years ago. I was in Israel when I was 14 years old, and I was standing on Mount Carmel with the tour guide that we were there with. It was just me and him. He's this guy, he was a little bit shorter than me, and his name was Aaron. Really nice guy. I believe he was from New Zealand. And anyways, we were talking about Israel, and we were overlooking the Jezreel Valley, and he just started talking to me, and he's like, Sam, Israel is completely self-sufficient in its electricity, in its water, in its natural gas, agriculture, fruit, food, all of that. And he said we actually export a lot to Europe of tech, food, all this type of stuff. And then he looked at me, and it was just me and him standing there, and he said, Sam, there's one thing that Israel is lacking. And I was like, what's that? He says, we don't have any of our own crude oil. That's the only thing that we're lacking. And then he walked away, and that was that. And that was the end of that. That's the last we talked about it on that trip. And it just stuck with me. And I was 14 at the time. Now, if you fast forward 7 years, I was on my way to a meeting with it wasn't even a friend, it was an acquaintance who just wanted some help with something in his business. And at the end of our meeting, he got super excited and did something on his computer, and he was just over the moon. And I was like, I didn't even know the guy, but I was so curious. I asked him, I said, so why are you so excited about what you're doing? And he's like, well, the Lord, there's this company called Zion Oil and Gas, and the Lord led me to invest, but my wife and I do everything together, and my wife just got confirmation from the Lord that he wanted her to put money in and everything. So we bought some shares, and I was so curious. I was like, okay, that's very interesting. And I asked him a little bit more, and he said, yeah, it's a company in Israel from Dallas. It's a Christian company called Zion, and they're drilling in the Megiddo Jezreel Valley. And instantly, like that whole scenario of me on top of Mount Carmel in Israel overlooking Jezreel Valley where the drill is came to my mind. And I was like, hold on a second, what are they trying to do? And he's like, well, they're trying to bring crude oil to the surface for Israel because Israel doesn't have crude oil. And my mind was blown. I'm like, okay, this is something, because a month previous to that, the Lord showed me something about what he wanted me to do with my finances, but he didn't give me a real clear answer. And so this was obviously very intriguing. So my wife and I prayed about it together, and I have had a couple visions, if you want to call them that. But this one I wanted to share with you guys. I was standing in a desert place, in a valley, and I saw the oil rig appear in front of me. And this was before Zion had released any pictures of their new rig. And it was red, white, and blue. And I saw it appear in front of me. And then I saw what appeared to be like a year of time pass in front of me. And I saw like it was like time lapse. Like I saw vehicles coming in and things being moved and holes being dug and all this type of stuff. And while that was happening, I looked down and I could just see an ocean of oil, and it was black, but it was like water. Like it was so refined. And I look back up again, and I see the hustle and bustle of going on, but then it all stopped. And then I took another step back, and I saw tanks appearing and roads appearing and infrastructure, and before you know it, that whole valley was full of oil field infrastructure. And then at the end, I saw what was like a gold wall all around the border of what I could see. And if you're in the valley there's just kind of mountains and hills all the way around it. And I could see like this gold wall, but I knew it wasn't a real wall But then I felt like the Lord told me, he's like, Sam, he's like, this represents what Israel's going to be like. They're going to be so wealthy and financially impenetrable. Like they're going to be so wealthy based off this oil, that they're just going to be secure. And it's very interesting because if you read Ezekiel 38 and 39, Russia and Iran and other countries there are going to have this hook in their jaw, and it says they're going to want to come and plunder Israel. It doesn't say they want to destroy Israel. It says they want to come plunder. And where are they planning on coming? Well, they're planning on coming to the Jezreel Valley. So, very interesting. So anyways, I saw that, and so I'm like, okay. And I felt the Lord was like, I want you to take all of your money that you have in this account, and I want you to put it all in there. So we did. And that's 4.5 years ago now. And I know there's a lot of people that have been in it a lot longer. But another thing I wanted to share was I felt very strongly that it's going to go to $300, which sounds crazy. But the reason I think that is because I was with a friend. We were talking about this. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the price is going to go to. And my friend says, I feel like the Lord showed me it's going to go over 300. And when he said that, we were driving, and the Holy Spirit came so heavy in the car that we actually had to pull over. And it was so intense, like we were just overjoyed. And the only other time that I can vividly remember an experience like that was when I was 14 years old, and I was praying about this girl in my life, whether or not I should pursue her at 14. And God said, I was sitting at my kitchen table. It's like, yes, this is the girl you're going to marry. And that same feeling that I had in the car came over me then. And I married to her happily. And it's been a huge blessing. So all that to say, I'm excited. And I wanted to make this video to encourage anyone, because I know there's people that have been in it for a long time, and it's a long haul and it looks impossible. But if you read we quickly forget how the Bible, how God works. Like he's always working supernatural. And one of my favorite stories is when Elisha and his servant are together, and that there's an army surrounding the town, and they're after Elisha. And Elisha's like, Lord, just open my servant's eyes. And he opens the guy's eyes, and he can see these chariots of fire. And then we see Daniel in the lion's den. We see Joseph go from the bottom of the prison to the top of Egypt in one day. We see God split the Red Sea for Moses and all of the Israelites at the last moment. Okay? We see Jesus feed 5,000 people. We see Jesus walk on water. We see Jesus raise people from the dead. And so I personally believe that this company is going to explode. That it's when God determines that the time is right, it's going to go, and it's going to be an unstoppable thing that's going to baffle a lot of people. And I know I have a lot of people that think I'm a little whack, I'm a little crazy, but you know what? And that's fine, and I totally understand, because I can't put in their head what's in my head, what I've seen, what I know is going to happen. And I don't, the variable is I don't know when it's going to happen. That's the only thing. I'm just a mechanic that works in a small town in Canada, in Alberta, and it's great. But I have been waiting. But one thing I want to encourage people with watching this is give it up. Because I'm sure you've had these thoughts like, oh, it's coming. And you've maybe made financial decisions and different things that have affected your life and your family. And I know for me, I had to really recently be like, God, I give this up, because I don't know. And I need to live my life and enjoy my family and enjoy my kids, and not be focused on waiting for this to come, because I don't have to worry about when it's going to come. I know that it's going to come at the right time, and then it's going to be the best time. So I hope this video has encouraged anyone who's watching it. Yeah, we'll see you guys on the other side of it. I'm excited. And tell your friends as the Lord leads you to do that. And we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.